Here's a look at today's assignment. The learning targets are, I understand that there are several ways to represent data that I collect. I can create graphs to accurately represent my data, which is what we did yesterday, and I can compare dot plots and bar graphs. Here is a link to the graphs, which you are going to need for this assignment, so this brings you right to the document that we were on yesterday where you did your graphing. The first slide, how many pets the dot plot. Okay, and again, you'll have to click on that link. It's the same one as the last slide in order to access those graphs. For A, which number of pets has the most in your class and which has the fewest? How can you tell by looking at the dot plot? So to find the most, you'll find the number that has the most amount of dots on top. And then to find the fewest, you'll find the number with the fewest. And then you'll have to tell me, how can you tell by looking at the dot plot? For B, how many pets do most of the students in your class have? And then how did you find your answer? For C, can you tell by looking at the dot plot whether anyone has the same type of pet or pets as you? Why or why not? So if you look at that dot plot and you know that you have a dog, can you tell by looking at that graph whether somebody else has a dog? Why or why not? The next one is you're going to do the cats and dogs graphs, the bar graph and the Venn diagram, and we're going to compare those. Was it easy for you to place your dot on both graphs? Okay, was there anyone who had a hard time placing his or her dot on either of the graphs? Maybe you had both animals, a cat and a dog. Maybe you had neither. So was it easy for you to put your dot on? Explain. Is there any information that is easier to see from looking at the bar graph? And is there any information that's easier to see by looking at the Venn diagram? Explain, please. What kinds of information are best represented in bar graphs and Venn diagrams? And does the order of the bars matter on a bar graph? So would it matter if I had dogs and then cats, or cats and then dogs? Does that matter? And the last slide, Lynn asked some of her classmates how many people are normally at home for dinner. She recorded her results in the histogram shown at right. So we're going to look again at a histogram because this type of graph is the one that we're really trying to focus on this year. How many classmates were surveyed? That's where you'll count up each bar. So the people that had 0 to 2 people at dinner, there were 2. From 2 to 4, there were 3. So you're going to add 2 plus 3. From 4 to 6, there are 5. So 5 plus 2 plus 3. Again, you're going to add up each of those. How many classmates had 8 or 9 people at home for dinner? You'll look at the 8 or 9 bar. And can you tell which is the most common number of people at home for dinner? Why or why not? So when you're looking at this graph, the number of people at dinner is on the x-axis or the bottom, and the number of responses is on the y-axis going up and down.